Hey everyone, welcome to the deep dive. We're diving into Boston Brain Science Cerebra today.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we've had requests to take a closer look at it, especially those brain power boosting claims.
Lots of buzz around that one.
Right, so we've got YouTube reviews, articles, even some firsthand accounts.
Sounds like we've got a lot to unpack.
We do. Does Cerebra really work? What's the science behind it? Any downsides? Let's find out.
I'm ready to dive in. It seems like everyone's looking for that cognitive edge these days.
They are. So where do we start? What exactly is Cerebra?
Well, it's a dietary supplement marketed as a brain health,
Okay.
cognitive function booster
Right.
made by Boston Brain Science. They focus on these types of supplements.
Got it.
And they claim it can help with, well, everything. Memory, focus, mental clarity.
You mentioned wanting to sharpen your focus, feel more mentally energized.
I did, yeah. That's why I'm so interested in this deep dive.
Makes sense.
Connecting it back to, what I'm trying to achieve.
Exactly. Now, Cerebra claims to work by supporting neurotransmitter activity, increasing blood flow to the brain, providing those essential nutrients. You were curious about neurotransmitters.
Yeah, I am.
Have you read about any specific ones they target? How those relate to, well, your cognitive goals?
Not specifically, but how does that translate to, real-world benefits?
Right.
Does supporting neurotransmitter activity actually help you focus better or,
Remember things better.
Yeah, remember things, exactly.
That's a great question and something we'll explore, as we go,
Look.
looking at the science and what users are saying.
Now, one ingredient that jumped out at me was Ginkgo Biloba.
Okay.
It's been around forever, right?
Oh, yeah.
And modern research is saying it might help with blood flow to the brain
Interesting.
and could improve cognitive function.
You mentioned struggling with remembering names, details.
Yes, all the time.
Well, ginkgo's potential to boost blood flow there
Okay.
could be relevant for you. Some studies suggest it helps with memory recall, but of course, more research is always needed.
That's promising, though. I like that some of these, traditional things are getting scientific backing.
Me too. What other ingredients stood out to you?
Well, Bacopa Monnieri caught my eye. It's an Ayurvedic herb, getting a lot of attention for cognitive benefits.
Right. It supposedly works by influencing neurotransmitter production.
And hasn't research shown that it might actually enhance learning and memory, especially for,
Age-related decline.
age-related decline, which, isn't my main concern.
True. You're looking for a boost in focus and energy, not necessarily
Right.
addressing,
Age-related issues.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
It's a good point. An ingredient might have research, but it's got to match your needs.
yeah.
We'll need to look into whether those Bacopa studies also show improvements in focus and energy specifically.
Definitely.
Now, how about phosphatidylserine? It's involved in brain cell structure and function.
And I've heard it might help with memory, especially,
Older adult.
older adults. Yeah.
Right. And while you're not quite there yet,
Not yet.
the fact that it supports brain cell health overall could mean better cognitive function, period.
Makes sense.
But to see what the research says about its benefits for, younger folks wanting that cognitive edge.
I'm all about that overall support,
Me too.
What about rhodiola rosea? It's an adaptogen, meaning it helps with the stress.
And you did mention feeling overwhelmed lately.
Oh, constantly.
So that could be a valuable ingredient for you.
Yeah.
By reducing stress, rhodiola might indirectly improve mental performance.
Yeah.
Have you noticed a connection between your stress levels and
Oh, big time.
your ability to focus?
When I'm stressed, my mind is all over the place. I can't concentrate on anything.
I think that's key here.
Yeah.
Understanding how these ingredients might actually address your specific challenges.
Okay.
It's not just about general brain power. It's about solutions that fit you.
I like that. What about L-Theanine? It's an amino acid found in tea. And it's known for, calming effects, but without making you drowsy.
It's like a good fit for a cognitive enhancement formula.
Right.
It's about promoting calm focus, not jittery energy.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's how our brains work best, right?
Right. Alert and engaged, but not overwhelmed or anxious.
Exactly. Now, besides these key ingredients, Cerebra also includes a blend of essential vitamins and minerals. B vitamins, vitamin D, magnesium.
All crucial for overall brain function.
The foundation for a healthy mind, right?
Exactly. And one thing that stood out to me was their emphasis on safety. Even the inactive ingredients are non-toxic.
Good to know.
That's-
Shows attention to detail, commitment to quality.
Okay, we've covered a lot. What Cerebra is, the key ingredients, how those might relate to your, experiences.
Right.
But what about the effects? What are people saying about their experiences with Cerebra? Let's dive into those testimonials.
That's what I want to know. Does it live up to the hype? So let's get into those user experiences. What are people saying about Cerebra?
Right. Real-world feedback is key.
Beyond the marketing and the science,
Exactly. And you wanted to hear from people who actually felt more focused,
Yes.
more mentally energized,
That's the goal.
which aligns with your goals.
It does, yeah. And what's the overall vibe? Super positive, or is it mixed?
Good question. Always good to get the full picture.
Right.
Now remember, these are individual experiences.
Of course.
Results can vary.
Sure.
But from the YouTube reviews we've gathered, people seem to feel more focused, more alert after taking Cerebra.
Interesting. Any stories stand out? Sometimes the details are really revealing.
Oh yeah, one reviewer, a graphic designer, mentioned struggling to stay focused during those long work sessions.
I feel that.
Right. And they said after Cerebra, they could concentrate better, power through those demanding projects.
That's kind of what we were talking about with L-Theanine, promoting that calm focus. It's just one example, but, shows how it might help someone in a creative field.
Absolutely. Another reviewer, a student prepping for exams, they felt more alert, too.
Okay.
Less prone to those midday energy slumps,
The worst.
The worst. And they credited Cerebra for that improvement.
So sustained mental energy, but without the jitters.
Yeah. No caffeine crashes.
Right. Which you mentioned wanting.
I did. Feeling energized throughout the day without relying on those quick fixes
Exactly.
that ultimately make you feel worse.
Totally. So far, so good. It seems to be living up to those claims.
It does. But we got to look at the downsides, too.
Of course, there are always downsides.
Did you come across any negative reviews? Any bad experiences?
Yeah.
Some people mentioned mild side effects,
Oh, like what?
like digestive discomfort, headaches, especially when they first started taking it.
That's pretty normal with supplements, I think.
It is. Your body's adjusting.
Right.
Always good to start slow. See how you react.
And of course, talk to your doctor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if you have any health conditions.
Or are taking medications.
Yes, some ingredients could interact.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit.
Right?
How does Cerebra present itself? We talked about the natural ingredients, the scientific backing.
Right.
But who are they targeting?
Yeah.
What's their image?
They're going for a broad audience, it seems. Students, professionals, even older adults.
Makes sense.
They really play up the natural origin of their ingredients.
That's smart. People want healthier options.
Exactly. And they use that scientific language for credibility,
Yeah.
but they balance it with those relatable scenarios,
Right.
making cognitive enhancement seem, more achievable.
You don't need a PhD to benefit, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Now, one thing that comes up with supplements is cost.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Cerebra's not cheap.
It's not.
We know you're budget conscious.
I am.
So how does that factor in for you?
Well, I'm interested in the benefits, but the price tag does make me pause.
Understandable.
Gotta weigh the investment against the potential return,
Right. Are the benefits that good to justify the cost?
Exactly.
Are there cheaper options out there?
Right. Balancing quality, effectiveness, and affordability.
And the opportunity cost, too.
I mean,
What else could you do with that money to improve your brain health?
oh, I see.
Gym membership, a meditation app, even just prioritizing sleep.
That's a good point. It's not just about the supplement. It's about the bigger picture.
It is a holistic approach addressing all those factors.
Speaking of holistic approaches,
Yes.
let's talk about those alternatives to Cerebra.
Perfect segue. We'll be back after a quick break to dive into those
Sounds good.
and wrap up our Cerebra exploration. All right, we're back. Final part of our Cerebra deep dive.
Time to wrap things up.
We've covered so much, the ingredients, the science, what users are saying, even the cost.
Right.
But before we go, I want to explore those alternatives to supplements like Cerebra.
Important stuff, especially since you're looking for that holistic approach.
Exactly. Supplements are tempting, but
They're not a cure-all.
no, they're not.
Yeah.
There's so much we can do naturally to support our brain health.
And those often have added benefits, for our overall well-being.
100%. Let's start with the basics. Sleep.
Sleep, the foundation.
You mentioned wanting more energy throughout the day.
Definitely.
Have you noticed a link between your sleep quality and,
Oh, huge link. When I'm sleep deprived, forget it.
same here. It's like my brain just shuts down.
Right. Everything's harder, focusing, remembering, making decisions.
That's brutal.
And the science backs that up.
It does.
Yeah. Sleep is crucial for memory, attention, even emotional regulation.
Interesting.
When we're well rested, our brains are ready to go.
So it's not just about feeling good, it's about letting our brains recharge.
Exactly. Studies show that even one bad night's sleep can mess with your cognitive function.
Wow.
But getting enough sleep consistently, big improvements in memory, focus, overall clarity.
Makes sense. Okay, sleep's a must.
Non-negotiable.
What about exercise? I know it's good for our bodies,
Right.
but how does it boost brain power?
Well, if we zoom out and look at the bigger picture, exercise has a massive impact on the brain.
Okay.
Increases blood flow, stimulates new brain cell growth,
Wow.
enhances those neurotransmitters we talked about.
So it's a brain workout too.
Exactly. And it reduces stress, improves mood, boosts energy,
All good thing.
all contributing to a better mental state.
You mentioned feeling overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah.
Does exercise help you manage that?
Absolutely. Even a quick walk or some stretching makes a difference.
Really?
Yeah, it's like hitting reset on my brain.
Might have to try that.
Do it. Now, another natural brain booster is our diet.
Oh, of course.
What we fuel our bodies with affects our brains directly.
Makes sense. But are there any specific brain-boosting foods?
Definitely. Fatty fish, blueberries, leafy greens.
Okay, those are all healthy. But
They're packed with omega-3s, antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals.
gotcha. So it's not just about avoiding the bad stuff. It's about actively nourishing our brains.
Exactly. And like sleep and exercise, a good diet benefits our overall health.
It all connects.
It does. Reduces disease risk, promotes longevity. It's a win-win.
I like that. Now, before we wrap up, what about mindfulness and meditation?
Another great one. You said you struggle with focus, feeling scattered.
All the time. How can mindfulness help?
Well, it reduces stress, improves focus, helps regulate emotions.
Okay.
It's like training your brain to be more present, more resilient.
So building mental fitness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it, anywhere, anytime.
That's good to hear.
Right, you just need a few minutes and a willingness to focus on the now.
Okay. So we've explored some great natural alternatives.
We have.
But let's circle back to Cerebra.
Okay.
What's the takeaway for listeners considering it?
I think it boils down to this. Cerebra has potential, but approach it realistically.
Oh.
It's not magic, and it won't replace those fundamentals.
Yeah.
Sleep, exercise, diet, stress management.
Like we said, you can't out-supplement a bad lifestyle.
Exactly. If you want to boost your brain power, start with the basics.
Right.
And if you're thinking about adding Cerebra, do your research, talk to your doctor, and manage those expectations.
Great advice. And remember, what works for one person might not work for another.
Totally.
It's all about finding what supports your cognitive goals and well-being.
Absolutely.
This deep dive was about giving you the info to make an informed decision.
That's what we aim for, empowering you to take control of your cognitive health.
Love that. Thanks for joining us on this Cerebra deep dive.
If it was fun.
We hope you got some valuable insights
And some new ideas.
on how to boost your brain power naturally.
Naturally.
Until next time, keep those minds sharp and those bodies moving.
See you then.